work, work all night, search for underpants, hey. We won't stop until we have underpants, yum tum yummy tum hey. Time to go to work, work all night, search for underpants, hey. We won't stop until we have underpants, yum tum yummy tum hey. Oh shit, he's awake! What? This kid is awake! What the fuck do we do? Oh fuck! I guess we gotta kill him. Alright, fuck it, let's kill him.
Because their customers know the truth. So you're right. I mean, one of the things I try to help clients understand is, right, well, let's have a look at the data and find out where the real opportunity is. So for example, if you're an employment lawyer and you know, because you can find out that, I don't know, 500 people a month search for employment lawyer London, you know that there's 500 opportunities of people sticking their hand up saying, I'm looking for what you do.
Yeah.
Well, you also know there's lots of other employment lawyers. And it's not enough to drive that traffic to your website if your website is rubbish. So you have to get you have to have the right click campaign, the right landing page, the right follow-up when the phone rings. It's like the whole thing. It's not just one thing. And then you also have to know, what is my acceptable cost of customer acquisition? Because if it costs £1 a click to get someone to your website, it costs you £100 to get 100 people there. And if 3% of them buy from you, well, it's cost you 30 quid per customer. Now, if you're selling blue widgets at £5 a widget, that's a dumb thing to do. If the lifetime value of that £5 widget is they come back once a month, well, then it might become worth it over time. But you have to understand the maths. You can't just say to someone like Sydney, can you work some magic for me? Because the answer is no. You're responsible, Mr. CEO, for understanding the whole customer experience and the numbers that go behind it. And if you want to play the game that way, then it's worth having a conversation. If you're looking for a quick fix, Sydney, you just say, we're not the people for you.
No, I completely agree, because I get a lot of clients, or I've had a few clients who, we've got them kind of 52 new sort of email addresses, but then they've not done anything with them. And then they've owned and things, well, you've not seen the bigger picture. And that's where, from my side of the coin, I guess, that at the moment I'm only doing social media marketing, but I actually want to grow the business to do the whole marketing, because I'm only working with probably a third of the marketing elements that they should be doing. So I don't get to see the follow through, if that makes sense. So I feel a bit it's slightly more difficult, because I don't get to deal with the whole project. And I've got, some clients that are actually letting me take the lead on sort of more side of things, which is helpful for me, because then we can actually work together to develop a whole strategy, rather than, me saying to you, I'll get you the sales to your door, but if you're not going to do anything with them, then that's not essentially up to me to do that. That's my bit over.
And there's different kinds of marketing, right? There's brand awareness marketing. It's not all about acquiring sales. It's not all about getting sales.
No.
In fact, there's an interesting philosophical conversation to be had as are you trying to get sales to win a customer, or do you have to win a customer in order to get their sales? Well, a customer is someone who literally, they like your custom. They like the way you do it. That's literally what it means. So they've decided, it's a bit like John Lewis, right? If you like John Lewis, you can get almost anything from John Lewis, from TVs to Pampers. I don't know why that came to mind, but, if you like John Lewis, that's where you go. And if John Lewis are smart, they will sell you whatever you want, because you're a John Lewis customer. But it's a different mindset to, okay, what's the easiest way to get sales? And I don't even care about the customers. I just care about the cash in the door. Well, good luck. You're not going to last very long.
No, indeed. And in fact, what you're all touching on is, so Guy said, 6 to 10 years. You've said relationships and the sort of quantum effects. Sydney's talked about how when she's more involved in the process, you can have a greater impact. So before we come to an end of this discussion, we haven't touched on the strategic tools from your Inspired CEOs. So tell us a bit about that.
So look, the idea is this, and interestingly, my first client was a law firm who I went in as the marketing guy, and their website was not working for them, and they said to me, "Can you help us get a better website?" I said, "I can." And they said, so I told them the price, and they said, my nephew says he can do it for 750 quid. I said, "Well, get your nephew to do it then." But for me to understand the keywords that people are actually searching for, which determines how you should write the message, because you need to be relevant, to understand what your competitors are doing, to help you understand how to position yourself differently, is a lot more effort. And I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it with you, right? So there's a lot, when we talk about strategic tools, it's what tools do you take out of the bag to help you do the creative work of putting the puzzle together, right? Let's imagine there's 29 pieces of this puzzle. Because people talk about vision, mission, purpose, strategy, culture, finance, systems, processes, recruitment. I mean, you name the whole gamut of what it takes to put a company together. It's complicated. And you can either be reactive, fighting fires, hoping it's somehow all going to work out in the end, or you can be creative and put the puzzle together. Now, interestingly, reactive and creative are exactly the same letters in a different order.
Really?
Yes.
Because I can't check. Well, no, I'm not even
sorry.
going to try and check it.
Apologies to the dyslexics.
Exactly. Good God.
Trust me, they're exactly the same letters, right?
Sydney, you're working it out. Is he telling the truth?
Yeah, I think you are.
Okay,
Yeah.
go for it, Chris.
Right. So it's this metaphor of putting the puzzle together. Okay, so there are some tools. Guy will tell you this. If you want to think about your sales and your finances, there's a way to build a business plan. And one of the best ways is to start with a financial model. Let's take the law firm example, for example, right? You're hiring a lawyer at however many pounds for salary. So there's a cost per hour that person costs you to be available to do the lawyering. Okay, well, and let's say that's 1,000 hours a year. Well, so now you know that we need to be charging more than whatever it is, £60 an hour. Okay, so you can start to build a model for how this business actually works. Now, if you've got a model for how your business works, you end up with a much better business plan, because it's not just guesswork. It's not just, well, if all the planets align, next year, Del Boy, we'll be millionaires, right? Because anybody can plug numbers into a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that's what's going to happen, because you have to have a plan that's then backed up by a strategic plan, right? Okay, so how are we going to get those customers? All right, so we're going to talk to Sydney and we're going to invest, because we know that if a customer is worth, I don't know, £5,000 on average, we know that we're prepared to invest £1,000 to get a new one.
Yeah.
Right. So you're now playing the game very, very differently. Now you know, well, if I can afford to invest £1,000 to get a new customer, how many customers do we reckon we can get, and how long will it take? Now, Sydney will probably tell you, well, it depends on what kind of customer they are. The lead time might be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, depends on what the transaction's like.